That's how it feels. Either way, we're ready. This is our last match of the day, day number 1 for the Midseason Madness. So once again, let's take a look at our predictions, starting with my own. I had to ride it with the Houston Outlaws. They just looked so good. I haven't seen a real crack in the armor from like top to bottom. That roster is stacked. I honestly haven't seen enough from the Infernal to even make an educated anything here, so I just went with what I know, and that's the Houston Outlaws.
Same, me too. I went with Houston Outlaws. I liked what I was seeing from them their previous match, and also what Happy said, that it was like, hey, we got more interesting, quote-unquote, comps coming up. So I was like, hey, I want to see it. I want to see what is it. I'm like curious. Show me the comps.
Yeah, we'll see if Infernal can even bring it out of the Outlaws. Obviously, I've got Outlaws winning this one pretty easily. I think, honestly, for me, Pelican Tracer what made a believer out of me in that last game. I knew he had the Tracer in him. I knew he was strong on it. But that's not his best hero. It's not his comfort. And for him to be playing, like, just slaughtering Decay, honestly, in an easy 3-0 win, made him look leagues above it. Looks like one of the best in the league.
Yeah. I got Houston Outlaws in this one too, but I am really excited about this one because of the wild cards that are the Seoul Infernal. Wrecking Ball on Blizzard World, that is very much what I predict from them, and let's see how it goes because I don't know how it's gonna go. The league plays like 1% of Wrecking Ball, this team plays 12%. They play Zenyatta, whereas other teams actually don't. So how is Zenyatta going to fare against like Sombra Tracer? Probably not too well, but Seoul Infernal, in many ways, I think they're a wild card. Houston Outlaws, known for dropping at least a map in a series once in a while, not the previous one. So this could go to map 4.
You know what? I'm sick of this. Like he's like so trying so hard to play both fields today. Absolutely disgusting. Well, Seth, Kevin, it's past midnight, so we're now on first name basis. How are you guys feeling about this match?
I'm feeling it's going to be a good one.
Feeling good.
Yeah, I mean we're just perfectly fine here, 4 p.m. over here in Seoul, South Korea. But I'm feeling good about this match. I do agree with Liz. I think that this could very well go to 5. So I think that I'm hoping that this one goes to 5, and I hope that you're all wrong in your predictions in the sense that this is going to be a clean blowout series because this one's a hell of a lot of potential. The Infernal have been looking absolutely excellent. Mag is back in a renaissance period right now. Whether or not he's going to pull out the Wrecking Ball, we'll have to just wait and see. But something tells me if this does end up going to a map 5, that doesn't historically go so well for the Outlaws. So we'll see if they can get it done if it does go the distance.
Now, with the Seoul Infernal as well, they have a bit of that fusion energy in them from the Philly Fusion years. That spirit is still there in good ways, some bad as well. The good ways would be the fact that, quality roster, and I think the prophecy exists. Look, I think the team needs to get second place. You got to do it first here for Seoul Infernal. Now that you've rebranded, get another second place. Why not? But, for that to happen, they need to make it through that bracket. On the more negative side, they've also lost their fair share of map 5s. That first game versus Seoul Dynasty is one they'd like to take back. If it wasn't for that, they'd have a perfect year so far as well. As we take a look at the Shu versus Skew stats, and this is the matchup that I want to see. When we talked to Jake at the start of the day, who would I like to see versus the Seoul Infernal? I mean, play up against Houston. It's probably the harder matchup, but we get the Shu versus Skewed matchup as well. And at that time as well, I think I had a little bit more faith in Boston Uprising. That's probably the scariest part. The fact that Houston dismantled them 3-0 means that Houston are coming into this one looking really good.
That they are, but Infernal have looked hot, the entire season throughout. Again, we kind of mentioned the little snafu in that opening series versus the Dynasty. They did get the better of them in that matchup, but since then, it was nothing but clean play and dominance at the side of the Infernal. And now, under this rebrand, they are the, hosting team basically for this because we're technically outside of Seoul. It's in Ilsan, but it's close enough. It's attached to a Seoul subway line, so it's good enough for me to call them the home team coming into this one. But with that, it does add a lot of pressure, needing to perform in front of that home crowd. So can they do it? Are they up to the task? We're about to find out. Our opening map is going to be Lijiang Tower. Let's see whether or not it will be the Infernal drawing that first blood, getting that first map win under their belt.
No matter what happens here in terms of who actually ends up winning the series, I want to see it go to at least 4 maps because Seoul Infernal's best map type is the push. They are, I think, the best push team that we have in the East for sure, and maybe we'll see if they can really put up that challenge up against the Western teams as well in Houston. This is a squad that, if it wasn't for the Atlanta Rain, we'd be singing the praises of the Houston Outlaws. Yeah, they would probably be the hard favorites for the year so far, but so far the Atlanta Rain have been in their way. If they want to face up against the Atlanta Rain again, Houston will have to get past Seoul Infernal, as you mentioned, the home team here, a team that I think of the eastern side, you would say is the better team between themselves and the Hangzhou Spark. Seoul Infernal just that much more well-rounded, far more compositions. They have the star power as well. Seoul Infernal, the highest seed from the east coming into this one. This one, oh dude, I can't wait. Houston vs Seoul, let's get it.
Alrighty, and here we go. The Rhine v Rhine set up. Mag back over to the pick that effectively made him a household name back in the days of Contenders. See how Fearless does fare. We come out the gate. It's going to be across. Both teams sticking with the Symmetra. It's going to be the inside track first and foremost here for the side of the Outlaws, getting themselves over onto the point. Massive damage out onto Skewed, but it does manage to stay alive. Still getting tagged up here and there. Fix it, just steadily topping him back up. Looking for the pin. Fearless able to match that one. Mortality Field is going to be coming through. Mag able to clear that one out. Still under pressure here is Fearless, but Mag as well needs to try to keep that shield raised. As Zest is going to be sent off the side of the map. We've seen Violet finding the first kill. The main now gone. Pelican with an opportunity to try to take a lead. Mag, however, answers back. Finds Fearless. The fire strike through. Pelican going to be taken down. Looks for the pin. Cancels that one early. Picks up by Shu. And the turnaround comes through. The Seoul Infernal get the first lockdown here on the point.
And despite being later to the actual point itself, I'm not too sure what the opening teleported play from Infernal was, because normally you see teams do what Houston did. TP into the window, drop down on top of the point. Houston did that, and Infernal did not. And Infernal were later onto the point contest, but Mag had that pin to Fearless. They pinned each other, actually. Both ended up on the floor. Fearless taking way more damage. That put him down into a very precarious situation, leading to Fearless from the first death on the Houston Outlaws, allowing the Seoul Infernal to charge up, and now they have the ultimate supply through.
Yeah, and Matrix going to be coming through. Zest goes into the ice block. The wall comes up from Pelican just to try to go ahead and block off some of those sight lines. And Wiley, they just have to pull back, respect this Matrix, and then wait for it to expire to go back in. It's now gone. Fire strike through. Mag getting tagged up, but he's so much faster to trying to have this Shatter online, just 5% away. The ice block once again, they go. Shatter at the ready. Cuts around the corner, managing to find Happy, puts him down to the ground. Pelican going to be taken down. He gets the pin on the Violet as well. As Happy and Fearless take it up, and a team kill coming through. Seoul Infernal maintaining control, now cresting past 50%.
And that needed to be a fight where I think Pelican could have played the Blizzard as well. Huge advantage over Zest, but didn't have the opportunity to play in. MN3 Photon Barrier, that ultimate is huge because it makes it really awkward for Violet. You don't want to have your beat blocked by that wall. Mag, okay, the Shatter is okay. It lands onto one person. The extra pin onto Violet really seals the deal, though. Seoul Infernal defending well on the point.
Zest looking to cut up some of the reinforcements here. MN3 still going to get caught. Happy able to find that kill. Immortality Field going to be cleaned up. Mag down to a sliver of HP. Will be finished off by Shu. Great value found off the Blizzard from Pelican. Not so much value found by Zest. Only comes away with one kill as a parting gift. The flip will come in. 82% on the board here for the side of the Infernal.
And they didn't force enough ultimates. You can see 3 ultimates still online. Shu about to find the Matrix, and the Houston Outlaws just a Blizzard. It's good enough, and that's the Blizzard I expected last fight to really be a game changer. This time with Seoul Infernal really being frozen up and fixes. Sound barrier not catching MN3. MN3 crucially did not get saved by that. That was a difference maker in the fight. Now Outlaws hold all the cards in terms of resources.
You can see Pete perhaps here into the back line. Good damage coming across. The Shatter could have been dropped in. Nice boop there from Fixit. Does he help keep the rest of the team protected? But Fearless still gets on top of Mag to find the elimination. And the tank gone. Zest off the side of the map. Just to go ahead and I guess reset because he was in a bad spot.
Yep.
It's going to be the fight 1 and the point held here for the Outlaws.
3-1 trade though. Skewed use Ant Matrix. Houston Outlaws use 3. That's a decent trade considering Infernal are above 82% to 42. This is the kind of economy swap that you want. You want to be able to flip the resources very tightly like that. Now MN3 has a Photon Barrier. Great for entering. Puts pressure onto Violet again.
Just 10% away from having that one ready to go. Skewed again on the entry. Taking quite a bit of damage. Beat is going to be used up here, yeah, in advance. Try to rush forward here. Get the catch onto him, and it's going to be Skewed taken down. Happy able to get on top of him. Mag going to be pinned in the floor, I do believe. And yeah, Shu's going to be able to finish him off at the very end. Fight very much going their way. Beat to go ahead and hold this and now take the lead. And MN3, really late death.
It's late, and that's going to give Houston Outlaws the chance to equalize 82 aside. What a call coming through from the Outlaws. Violet just says, look, play for the tempo beat. We can go in and win this fight. And that ends up being a very cheap fight that allows Pelican to build up towards ultimate as well. And now Houston Outlaws, they can really have a good fight for this final contest. 99 should be on board. fighting into Blizzard will always be awkward.
Teleporter set up, maybe for the chance to try to dodge out here onto the shadow that's going to be anticipated. Mag trying to get himself out of this one. Immortality Field going to be committed to trying to keep him alive into the fight, but the pin from Fearless will take him down. Pelican, however, going to be eliminated. Now Fearless is going to be gone. The trade-up is there, but now it's equalized. Shu gets the headshot across on the MN3. Sound barrier in is 99%. Comes across to the side of the Houston Outlaws. Shielding now expiring. Mag going to be rushing back. The Shatter still in his hands. Pixel finds one. Violet finds another. Trading back here between the supports, but then he gets surrounded. Violet finds another. The right click comes through. Get the elimination, but the flip comes in for the side of the Infernal. Now the Blizzard going to be infested. They try to stay in this one. Shu, the Immortality Field, trying to keep him alive. Shadow gets dropped in. Mag gets the pin kill. Finds Fearless, finds Violet, but then Pelican, rejoining on the Tracer, manages to take him down. The counter flip coming back in. The overtime going to start bleeding away, and someone needs to get this touch. They go ahead, they tag in, they force it out for a little bit longer. Mag now swapping back over onto the Doomfist to try to rejoin a little bit faster.
Zess on the Sombra as well. We swapped over to a dive Infernal. Full dive team now. Houston Outlaws basically there as well. Happy could be the odd one out here. They need to target somebody. Violet nearly onto a beat. They got to get Violet down.
Ends up falling. Pelican managing to get the kill. The beat comes across. Violet shielding up the entire squad, and they will go ahead and whittle away at the Seoul Infernal. Zest will be the last man standing, but not on the point. 195. Houston Outlaws regain control of the point, and they do not let go of it, taking the first round for themselves. But damn, what a close bout between the two teams.
And what a clutch coming through from Violet. The 2K coming on in. Shu and Violet keeping each other alive. Houston Outlaws should have lost that fight long ago. But Violet was playing that expertly. Finds a sound barrier in the last engagement there as well. And this is that double kill. Look at the situation. Barely anyone alive. This is a 3v3 here after Violet gets a kill into Skewed. Just finds Fixer as well. That's double support. Skewed and Fixer both dead. Insane clutch coming on through.
And nasty kills there from Violet. Now we'll see the change up. Mag still opting to stick here with this run. Cassidy out the gate from MN3.
Yep.
Pelican will be taking to the skies, and that Cassidy can find an immense amount of value, so Pelican's got to be that much more careful now.
It's I don't know if it's an accidental sort of situation here. They could have read that Pelican was going to go towards the Echo in either case. Wait pick to come on through. Not standard if you didn't think the Echo was going to come in. See how Pelican fares against that. Fearless will move over towards the Ram. Like staying on the Rhine for now.
Gonna break down this barrier. MN3 gonna get clipped by this anti-nade. Zest under some fire. Has to go to the ice block to try to stay alive. The point unlocked. Outlaws with that initial little touch. Although Seoul Infernal look to take this for themselves. MN3 gonna find the first kill of the round. His Shu is gonna be taken down. Hack onto him, but he's nonplussed by it. Just dashing over to the side, just trying to get those shots woven through to take Violet out of the equation here. Able to find that elimination. Violet's still hovering low on HP, but Shu's going to be rejoining quickly. And we'll be able to top that Brigida back up. For now, though, Infernal again first in control of the point.
Yeah, and they have the Ant Matrix on life of Skewed as well. Look at also MN3's damage. Nearly on the Deadeye. Huge amounts of damage coming through on this cast. Seoul Infernal the first cap. With the early neutral, something they struggled to do on the last round. Here's the window.
Back over on his S once again. Fixes still down on HP, but MN3 again comes up with a kill. Pelican going to be taken down. Looks for a little bit more of the shielding. Try to keep protected. Violet getting tagged lower and lower. EMP going to be committed to the fight. Does manage to find multiple members on the side of the Infernal, but the kills have not been found quite just yet. Annihilation rolling here from Fearless. Now going to be nanoed up. The sound barrier. Fixer trying to stay alive. MN3 under fire. Fixer gets one, but MN3 burned down by that Annihilation at the end of it all. Fixer now eliminated the whip shot from Violet. Able to come up with that kill. It's 3 members left now versus 4. Seoul Infernal desperately trying to hold on to their lives. Mortality Field going to be cleared up. Skewed. Back turn here. And you cannot turn your back to this Ramatra. Fearless finds another one. Zest traces it back, but in the meantime, the Houston Outlaws have gained control of the point.
Yeah, Fearless doing a ton there. Getting MN3 down with the Annihilation was huge. Seoul Infernal taking Pelican down early in that fight was what gave them legs. Have to go for the retake now. What tools do they really have? Blizzard will be decent once they actually get on towards the point. What a call from Houston Outlaws, by the way, to decide, look, even though we're down on members, we're not going to reset it. We're going to play through EMP, play through Annihilation. It's not working out. Seoul Infernal do not run away with the lead by too much, 52-26 now. Still waiting to use some ultimates, but they are on the point.
Okay, rally rolling, just a bash there across on a Mag. The Duke comes out from Pelican, going for
Shadow time.
the Cassidy here. Mag grenade going to be thrown out. MN3, however, again finds a headshot. This time on a Violet, takes him down. Fearless going to be following quickly thereafter, as well as Pelican. That will be broken out of the dupe. Has to just try to drift away, make his exit. Looks like he will be able to do so. The cleanup is there. The flip comes back through. Seoul Infernal once again in control. They do not surrender the lead.
Finally going over towards the BAP now, so they're changing comps again. This is a very unique composition, and we heard some inklings, you know. Happy was saying they had some more comps left to show. Just looking like it. How do you get past the Shatter? The bubble is the only real defense. Otherwise, the Shatter is completely free. Naga holding above them. EMP first, so catches 3.
Okay, does manage to find MN3 for a second. It looked like maybe he was going to be able to turn that one on its head, but instead they do come up with the kill. Now they start with the man advantage to start inching their way back over onto the point. As you mentioned, Shatter, definitely something that needs to be respected. They get the hack across on a mag. Good Fixa though, they managed to keep him alive, and in this fight, the bubble already expended. Now that means that Shatter can come across for free, but no, he's gonna get dropped. Pelican gets a couple of headshots woven through. Skew down low, a sliver of HP remaining for him. The sound barrier helping to keep him alive. They have not been able to finish the job. The Immortality Field now comes across the Amp Matrix, nearly there. Outlaws in control, at least for the moment. The Primal gonna be built up here from Fearless. Pelican's gonna be lost as MN3 looks to rejoin the fight. Tessa as well. Throws out the right click, finds shoot. MN3 gonna get cleaned down. Fearless good for 1, but can he get more? No, he's gonna get dropped to the ground, the pin into the wall. Lines up the headshot, finds the kill. The Infernal are looking for the flip and looking to take us to a third and final round.
Shu's going to swap over to Kariko here as well. Fearless needs to get back quickly. They have to go for the touch. Doomfist will be the answer, the fastest tank hero you can choose. And they're playing into a Blizzard. Very high likelihood that Seoul Infernal can lock this one. Like, you need to see a good Blizzard though in the open.
The Immortality Field just a little bit too late. He did toss it out, but now the Blizzard as well going to be invested. But Pelican finds Zest on the back end before he can go into the ice block. Second chance now. Tim and 3 only able to find 1, but he is going to die on the back end of this fight. In control now, 70% ticking up. Final fight territory for both teams. Skewed now swapping to Kiriko as well.
I'm so surprised Seoul Infernal decided to play that one in the open. They could have just opted to play the point instead. That's
Look
where
at the ults.
going to be strong.
EMP and the dupe.
And that's the thing, right? Houston Outlaws, after winning that fight, are in a good position resource-wise. We're going to hit the double 99s.
Skewed swapped again.
It's been 2
He's gone back to
close
the
rounds. Infernal, they got nothing. It's a pure neutral, and they have to fight 2 ultimates. The EMP of which is the most important.
They identified where Happy was at. MN3 down low. Somebody needs a touch. OT now going to be forced out. EMP comes across. Mag going to be antied. Low. Still staying alive. The kill's not being found quite just yet. Pelican with the dupe goes for the Winston, builds up the ultimate. He's got them in the corner. So look at the juggle around. Violet in the meantime finds him in 3 off camera. The juggle continues, skewed up into the corner, but the healing from Fixa is keeping him sustained. Mag, however, in all of this chaos is trying to occupy the point. Gets antied out and gets taken down. Now they're operating without a tank, without that Sombra. And 3 going to be respawning, trying to sprint back as quickly as he can. In an extended fight, if they can really keep this one going, he might be able to turn the tides, but Tess is going to be stunned up. Fearless getting him into the wall with the punch. Lines up the headshots, finds the kill. Rally rolling now out, goes over to Fixa to try to keep this Bring alive. Point still occupied here from the Soul Infernal, but now Fixa going to be antied across. Goes in, tries to get the shield bash there on a Pelican. Has he overstepped? Down low, shield gets raised to try to keep himself protected, but he ends up falling to Fearless all the same. Mag back in, but the Primal is nowhere near. Still 28% away. Zest stunned up. MN3 forced to exit the clip, coming back through. It's 99 to 99. The OT starting to bleed away ever so rapidly, and Zest is going to fall. The support's just now respawning. Mag is dead. MN3 goes in solo, drops the EMP, but his corpse will drop to the floor, and the Houston Outlaws will close out this map 2-0.
And the final fight, so many more ultimates online for the Houston Outlaws. Seoul Infernal swapping to a brand new composition. Everyone is empty on the ultimates, and you have to sort of rewind back to the fight where the Blizzard was available for Zest, and Skewed gets caught out in the open. The Blizzard goes out super wide, didn't even take a fight on top of point, and Seoul Infernal, I think they had a round slip away from them. 2 very, very close points there across the 2 that we saw in Lijiang Tower, but I think both times the veterancy, the experience, the clutch factor of the Houston Outlaws, especially when you look at Night Market, how good Shu and Violet were, especially Violet on the Lucio, to pull back losing situations and giving Houston Outlaws that win. So, look, it's been a tight affair so far. The Houston Outlaws, I think that slight edge will give them away for the first map, and we'll see if that gives them more on the future maps as well.
I mean, if nothing else, even though it is Control, it can be a very wild and varied map type. I think what we have learned from this is that even if that 3-0 or that 3-1 scoreline does come through and Houston walk away with the win as the Desp was anticipating, it's not going to tell the full story because Infernal are fighting tooth and nail. As you said, a couple things slipping away from them, but still fighting to keep themselves in this one, and there was a hell of an extension on that OT. So they are not going to be going down out of this one without a fight. They've got that home crowd backing them up, trying to steer them forward to victory. Now they have this map pick again coming out into their favor. We'll see whether they decide to go for hybrid, those we'll find out in just a couple moments. But any initial thoughts there, Avril, as far as where they want to steer us?
I think Seoul Infernal have just so much to play through. Hollywood's an interesting choice because that's a really good map for Houston. I actually don't know if I agree with that. I think if you looked at where Houston is strong, Hollywood is right up the top of the list, and Seoul Infernal should probably avoid Hollywood. That could end up being a mistake. Seoul Infernal going straight into the Lion's Den with this pick.
I'm feeling confident on it, clearly. We'll see, though, if that confidence is going to be misplaced, because having that 2-0 lead for the Outlaws would be catastrophic. But now we're going to go to a quick little break, give the players a breather. When we come back, we'll see if they can equalize the scoreline, tie us up 1-1.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade up. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Turn it way up, turn it way up. Crank that volume, turn it way up, way up.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and take a look, as we know that Hollywood is going to be the next map. Obviously, Infernal, undefeated on this one so far this season. Outlaws 3-1 record, but that one loss they have suffered on this map was to Atlanta.
We just saw as well Houston play up against Boston Uprising on Hollywood, and it was as clean as you'd like. Houston Outlaws in a 3-0 in that particular match. And I think I said, could that be Chungsik? Maybe my eyes deceive me. Anyway, interesting choice by Seoul Infernal. The other options would have been Blizzard World. Kings Roar, obviously. Blizzard World in the past has been a great map choice for the Seoul Infernal, given that, you know, that 9% ball pick. Mag is basically the only player giving serious game time to Wrecking Ball currently. If you want to look back at the Lijiang map as well, I think the real sliver of hopium here for the Seoul Infernal is the fact that despite losing 2-0, when you look at the actual score lines of where the leads were, it was 82-0 on Night Market and 90-35 on Gardens, both in favor of the Seoul Infernal. So the capability of Seoul Infernal to have these early leads and to win enough fights to be putting themselves into a position to actually take away the round is certainly there. Where they're faltering is closing the round out and actually being able to clutch up when it counts, win the fight to the end of the rounds, to the end of the maps when it counts. That has been where Houston have been better. I think it's the clutch factor of Houston that gave them Lijiang Tower.
It's a bit more clutch, but we know that Infernal is given what we've seen from them, and also when they were still known as the Fusion, they can be incredibly clutch when they need it the most. Not so much there on that first map, but we'll see how they fare, because obviously they have to be feeling very confident coming into Hollywood. Again, they have not suffered a loss on it. They've only played it twice so far this season, but are they misplacing their confidence in this map pick? That's what we're going to find out.
Certainly does open up things for MN3 to play hit scans. Obviously, we're 2 patches behind where Live is currently. Widowmaker is still fine and dandy, as we saw from Happy on Junkertown in the Boston game. MN3, possibility of playing at minimum Hanzo, but possibly even Widowmaker on Hollywood B. Seoul Infernal are definitely cooking something here, as you're going to have some confidence in terms of this map choice. And it was close enough on Lijiang Tower. I think confidence levels for Seoul Infernal should still be high. This was not a one-sided opening map. Seoul Infernal know they have the capability to still win. They have to prove that and show it on screen.
Well, in we go. Map number 2, Seoul Infernal. Their selection here for Hybrid to see whether or not they can tie this up at 1-1, or if the Outlaws will get a nice little stretch lead. Obviously, still the crowd very much backing them despite that early loss here on Lijiang Tower. First on the defense is the Infernal. We'll see how they fare, as it will be MN3 on that Hanzo.
Seoul Infernal's defense, fairly standard. I feel like we've seen plenty of teams, if you are going to play the Winston on this map, which most teams will do.
Nice anti.
One sniper is at least decent. Yeah, the anti will just be there to feed a little bit of ult charge for skewed, so off he goes into the nano boost race. That will be pretty important. Now, Pelican did hover the Echo, but I wasn't sure if he was actually going to play it. 20 HP, that's from
Soul over the ante. MN3 beamed down. Great follow-up. Pelican playing fearlessly here. Knowing that the kill was in hand, there was no way for them to try to get rid of that purple. Now,
supports are locked out.
Skewed. They are just completely and utterly corralled away from the point here. Anti-bombs for the stay them off. A sleep dart on a mag. Also going to be anti-put down on the ground. He will be able to stay alive, at least for the time being, but a first tick already going to be established here for the side of the Houston Outlaws. This, however, answering back, finds one, but Happy takes his head off, puts an arrow through it.
Second tag.
They get out of the fight, jump up over the top, looking to get right over top and fix his shield, but instead will just go right up into his face. Happy finds another one. Second tick nearly there, 63.5%, but with the kills coming through, the support's now gone. It seems like an inevitability that the Houston Outlaws will be able to get a very nice early cap here on point A.
Yeah, and MN3 goes Stormer just because it's a fast hero to come back on. He's nearly onto the EMP, but they have to give up on A. A single frag on MN3 dictates so much, and again, we talk about the fact that Houston Outlaws, they have extra compositions, extra picks. I don't dare to call it cheese, but certainly more variability compared to what we normally see in the meta, and it happens to be the Pelican Echo that's normal on Ilios, not so normal on other maps, and it comes out trumps here, flies it onto MN3, and it just snowballs.
How does MN3 have 90% of this EMP?
He did a lot of damage. He came back.
Took my eyes off the guy for a second, and now he's about to have it ready to go. Recon's looking to weave that shot in.
Mag, I think so. Mag's chilling.
Is the one that takes it, and Mag, after getting headshot, looks like he might have gotten a little heart flutter after that one. Just nearly giving him a heart attack, so calls for the police pause. We'll see what the issue is and whether or not we can get it rectified quickly so we can get back underway.
It's got to be Chio's PC again. The ghost of Chio's PC coming back. You know, that one damn PC, huh? We do have
the one.
MN3 on EMP, and you noted that was a quick charge, and it's not clear that Houston Outlaws are going to be aware that the EMP is available, so this is critical for Seoul Infernal in terms of finding that dive. The Houston Outlaws will be the ones playing the normal comp now. We obviously did see Pelican swap back over towards the Tracer, so no more Pelican Echo for point B. Probably a little bit dangerous to play there anyway. Obviously no Sniper yet because MN3, to be honest, as I sort of mentioned, the Sombra pick isn't even what I think Seoul Infernal believe is optimal in that place. He picked it because it's a fast hero that you can retake with, and he did enough damage that they can sort of convert now. Mag and Zest are also very close to ultimates, and as we pause, by the way, one key thing to think about is Happy just used the Dragon Strike, so that ultimate should be flying towards. We actually don't know where it's flying towards because we never really got to see, but has been
possible the high ground. What's going to happen here? Mag, a true gamer. It's not how admin is. Okay, I can back in or whatever the hell the issue is. But man's just under the desk doing work.
Plug your keyboard back in, son. We got a game to play.
Obviously, though, watch your head.
Something like that.
You don't want to bonk yourself on the desk as you're coming back up and then have to play the rest of the game dazed.
So, very quick cap on A. Houston Outlaws off to a good start. And a hardware issue, so, you know, maybe it is Chiyo's PC, the same PC. Yeah.
No, he's in the center seat, so it'd be one of the support players that'd be having that issue if that were the case. So it looks like it's just something with his mouse, but he's back in seat. Headset on. Looks like he's just testing, and we are getting right back into the action here. So it seems like not too much of an issue, so we should go ahead and get this back underway, but the action should be potentially explosive right out the gate, so get ready.
Yeah. Like I said, ultimates already being thrown out. Happy mid-Dragon Strike. Double support ultimates online for the Houston Outlaws. Fearless on 84. Mag on 73. Zest on 97. Some ultimates coming online very, very soon. Dragon Strike is, going towards the high ground, but very easily dodged by Mag.
He's got plenty of room to just go ahead and inch up in front of that one. There's MN3 in the back line. EMP was used, but kill not going to be found. Riley rolling from Violet to go ahead and get that green HP, but Zest goes in, gets the pulse bomb stick, and she's going to be taken down. A kill found Pelican in the meantime, just inching that card forward even more. Skewed and MN3 both taking nasty hits here. Mag looking for the contest here onto the low ground. Primal nearly online, but Fearless a bit faster to punch. Pelican staying elusive.
Nano play should be coming through now. EMP expended, Dragon Strike gone. Happy looking for effect, testing his limits here just a little bit. Zest dives in the backline, solo shoot.
I just completely and utterly ignores Happy, finds Shu into the back line, as you say, just about soloed. MN3 was joining in for that one, and Mag finds Happy. On a Violet, that's going to be some semblance of control found here for the side of the Seoul Infernal, still banking 3 ults.
Yeah, Happy had no idea. He was busy trying to take some pot shots on the high ground. Meanwhile, Zest just blinks into the back line. Last time it was a pulse bomb. This time, just raw damage output. Shu not able to get this nano off and still waiting for the nanos to play through. So payload slowly moves backwards now. Actually, payload movement here is insane because I say it was moving backwards and Pelican just shoves it forward slightly again. Seoul Infernal have to be a lot more careful about that because they're losing map control every single time the payload moves.
We've got like 15 more meters right there, it feels like. And out on a Mag, Skew's going to be taking down the rally from Fixa. Not nearly enough throughput to try to keep him sustained. Fixa as well, very much in danger of falling. Nice little whip shot to shove him back, but eventually with the pressure coming in under Happy and Pelican, he will crumble. Mag as well, likely to die on the back end of this one as he goes jumping back. Skewed, respawning, gets into range just fast enough to go ahead and keep him alive, but for now the cart can continue to roll forward. 3 minutes still remaining.
Mag was desperate to both A, not die, and B, not use the Primal, because you Primal there, that is an awful place, so he saves it. You lose a lot of space here. With Skewed going down, you couldn't mash a nano. Shu finally used it. Skewed hacked again. They're trying to put the pressure on. They know that Skewed wants a nano here. If they can prevent it, that would be the goal for the Houston Outlaws. Fearless going in deep.
A push forward, looking for that pulse bomb, but Pelican oversteps and picks it, catches him from behind with a whip shot, taking him down. Juggle up onto the rooftops here for Shu. Mag going to be antied out, but with the Goomba stop, we'll be able to take him down. Meanwhile, Skewed going to be traded by Fearless off screen. On the opposite side of the map, Mag comes in, gets some revenge here for his Ana. Cart will once again be slowed up.
Can't quite punish Happy. I think Zest will go hunting. They know Happy is behind the team, so he's towards the Infernal spawn. This will try and mark that one. In the meanwhile, MN3 is forward, scouting. EMP ready. Zest is not here, though.
He's playing right on the edge.
Zest is half HP, so if MN3 does anything, he might be solo. Has to take that into consideration.
Looks like he's still just tracking, waiting for him to get into a better position. In the meantime, that's going to be the translocator, I do believe. Taken away. Zest, however, diving forward. They will be able to find Shu. MN3 stuck into the corner. The whip shot will be able to take him down. So, yeah, I mean, still consequences being found after the translocate destruction.
I think MN3 thought Zest was going to hang around there. Zest helped out with the first, but disappeared for the second.
We got one and dipped. Some needed elsewhere. By the way, happy. Hey, he EMP'd the back line. Found Skewed and fixed it, but there's no follow-up to be found.
Now they're both alive, so that's all good. Fearless can go any further. I think Seoul Infernal are pretty pleased with that EMP resolve. Shoot, nearly going down there. Double support ultimates online for Houston Outlaws, so this is opportune time. They know the Nano's online as well.
What a sleep.
A nice sleep.
Oh, yep, and it's just going to be one shot, one kill. Already had the Tracer so very low. Fantastic sleep dart there from Shu to put him down. Fix it out under fire. Rally going to be bumped, gets that instant armor to try to stay alive. Skewed as well, being sustained for the time being. It's Fearless continues to push forward here, empowered by the Nano Boost. Pelican gets the better of him in 3, shuts him down. That's going to give an opportunity for Happy to find the lead here. Pelican going to be eliminated. Zest, however, answers one back with the pulse bomb, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to try to hold the line. Mag, Nano up, that's now expiring. Primal online, pops it, slept instantly, but now is woken up, and Shu will pay the iron price. Leap up onto the high ground, Fearless. Going to be cleaved down here at the very end. 1.92 meters left to go. Infernal should be cautious about a potential back cap.
And we had 3 meters before and only gave up 1.5 meters. They're very important to Seoul Infernal. We're capitalizing on the payload, making sure there was not going to be C9, because I could see it with my telescope. Would have been tragic. One last fight to go here. Fearless has a Primal online just soon and nothing else, but Seoul Infernal also do not have anything to play through. Fearless in trouble here a little bit. He has to stay alive. He doesn't have Primal. Can't afford to die.
He gets it. Pelican threatening that cap. Cart just less than 4 meters away now. Fearless goes leaping forward. Happy down low. The cart pushing forward. The contest needs to be there. Finally, he's going to be found for the side of the Infernal. MN3 desperately trying to build up this EMP. He gets a little bit of a stretch lead over top of Happy at net right now. And that could be the turning point. EMP online, but Fixa eliminated. Zest, a pulse bomb as well. Mag is taking lower and lower. Skewed trying his damnedest to keep him in this fight. But with the kills coming across, MN3 now commits the EMP. And then they all just get team killed. I thought he was going to hold it. I was literally about to say he'll have this for the follow-up, but as you say, maybe this is the moment that he swaps. We'll have to just wait and see.
Would be the good pick here, I think, but no, this is unfortunately going to be a case where MN3 made the call into the EMP. It's not for the purpose of swapping.
That's catastrophic.
Yeah, it kind of is, because unfortunately, you know, 2 players went down. Hag was on very low HP. Fearless staying alive, finding the Primal, soloing one of the supports, allows Houston Outlaws, and look, the payload was already shoved up, so not a lot of push required from the Houston Outlaws.
Get the Nano out.
Nano for Pulse trade. I think that's actually positive for Zest. You prefer that trade if you're the Seoul Infernal, so that's good.
I suspect that you're going to be able to build up that Pulse a little bit faster than Shu can get the Nano online.
Nano is more important. I think Nano is the far more valuable resource there, so.
Sure.
As well.
You need it to survive things like Pulse Bombs. Pelican going to be noted. Yep.
Trying
to approach.
well, which they don't have now.
This card is still just free pushing. They cannot lock it. They're going to have to try to hold it at the choke now. But it's dangerously close to the finish line here. Looking like an overtime finish unless something really transpires crazily here in the next few seconds. Fixa, though, going to be nanoed up, Skewed, able to help keep him alive. And Fixa is just rushing forward into the back line. Look at them try to keep them away from this cart. In the meantime, it is getting pushed. It is being brought forward, getting closer and closer to the golden box of victory. And getting pushed forward once again. Zest, however, able to find 2. Pelican just sat on this one. They need to join in. Zest arrives now. Keeps it contested. 4.7 meters left to go, but Fearless 9% away from that Primal will end up dying. They stave him off, and now it's just Pelican realistically to deal with. He tags back in once again to try to extend this one. Happy as well, trying to push forward. Has to translocate back. The EMP going to be used this time in a bit of a celebration. As Seoul Infernal will deny the finish on the map and at least lock in a potential win condition for themselves.
It's another situation where Pelican just sneaks a little bit of payload distance and it counts. I mean, once you see Seoul Infernal attack, could be the difference between winning and losing the map. We're not going to go to a time bank, but the actual distance is admirable. This is, you have what is essentially going to need to be a full map completion, basically. And it's not the first time we see Pelican. All throughout the map, you know, I noted on B as well, slow shoves of the payload, just a little bit of extra payload distance that Seoul Infernal not careful about. And on B especially, every single position and corner you lose with the payload, your defensive map control is hindered. You have less and less map to play through, and all it comes down to is a lack of payload control. Pelican not being marked by Zest. That's something they have to be careful about, because Zest, historically, famously, especially on push maps, master of payload theft. But here, Pelican is the real thief.
chance now. A very real one to try to tie this up. Like you said, still a very admirable push at the end of the day here from the side of the Houston Outlaws. So Seoul Infernal need to have a strong attack out the gate. Like MN3. At least going to be starting with the Hanzo, likely to stick with it. As soon as he sees it happy, he's going to be running it as well on the opposite side.
Yep. Pick potential is huge. As a reminder, Houston Outlaws got that pick potential with a very off-meta pick on the Echo, but hey, it works out. Time around, Seoul Infernal will do it the normal way. See if MN3 can find the early arrows, because A was one of the very successful parts of the Outlaws push. B was where things started to really slow down, but Seoul Infernal, they wouldn't want to slow down on A, given how fast Outlaws took it.
And a lot of that push was happy, opening things up. Shots flying for the moment. Not really any connections to speak of here so far for MN3. Pressure on the flank. Pelican pushing up the staircase, just trying to keep him honest, trying to keep him distracted away from Violet and Happy, who sat there in the cafe. That goes into the contest, but MN3 gets one.
Okay.
Yeah, recon dart forward. Pelican going to be taken down. Just a body shot to finish him off. Now, onus on Happy to try to reply. Buy some space here, but he doesn't want anything to do with Zest. He's backing away from the fight. The one clip not quite going to be coming through. Healing goes over to Happy to keep him sustained for now. Point occupied. That first tick nearly coming in, but Shu manages to find Fix It with the help of Violet. First tick established. Zest trying to build up the pulse bomb. Just 13% away. Pelican just a little bit further behind because of that initial death. Anti on the Happy, but no pressure being applied. They're playing off the point. They have to get halfway there, but for now, it's going to be the Infernal having to peel back, it seems.
You have to, because you just lack the players here. I don't know how Shu gets that pick, but it's important, because things were looking a little bit dire for the Houston Outlaws. You lose Pelican, that allows Seoul Infernal to push up, get that one tick forward. The Houston Outlaws, they just hold on steadfast. Now,
okay. And what a volley of kills to be found. Pelican gets MN3, Happy gets Zest. Skew taken down as well as Mag on the back end. Fix It desperately trying to stay in this one, but looks like he will just about be able to make it out with that last little shield bash. It's a good hold half the time. Bank really drained away here.
Which means pressure on Seoul Infernal to have a good B after this one, assuming they can cap A, and they should. They got good ultimates coming online. Violet does lead in terms of the rally, which is important. Seoul Infernal getting one tick is decent, but prefer to have two at this stage, and MN3 still looking for that initial pick off, and if MN3 can find it, that would be the 5 versus 4 that Seoul Infernal desperately need.
The dash forward, Nano has to be using the MN3 just to try to keep the Hanzo sustained. Dragon Strike is at the ready. Sleep goes across, nothing going to be found. Zest noted. Pelican pushing up the flank, throws out that pulse bomb, looking for the kill, unable to find one. Now Dragon Strike going to be used. Cube getting worked lower and lower as the ante was in, and Fearless will be able to zap him down to nothing. For a little bit more with the Storm Arrows, Happy will be able to deliver. Zest going to be sent back to the spawn room once again, and Infernal will have to go for a reset, and that's going to take them down below a minute for this cap on A.
Yeah, things are looking bad here for sure. This is what I'm talking about, right? Houston Outlaws, they don't finish the map, but they sneak so much payload. They get so much push through winning fights. Even when they're losing fights, that it gets to the end of the map anyway. And here's Seoul Infernal struggling to even cap A. Compared to even the first fight on this attack, and Seoul Infernal were at least able to get onto the point. That was even before Pelican got taken down. Seoul Infernal now on subsequent pushes can't even get through the archway, so things have only gotten worse so far. Max at least pushed forward. Now we're definitely under 1 minute. 3 ultimates versus 3. Seoul Infernal don't even have ult advantage yet.
Yeah. The pulse from Zest. Needs to try to find some value here. Dragon Strike opened up, Happy looking to start things off, or at least zone them back. Taking the recall position. Zest getting tagged up. Pulse bomb not finding any value. Fearless now jumping forward. Primal at the ready, just knocking him around. Zest falling lower and lower, just trying desperately to stay alive. Fearless, however, oversteps. And he manages to get taken down. A big kill, and one that can cost him this point defense. Mag now into the back line as well. Takes out Happy. Anti onto Skewed. Violet finishes the job. Shu going to be traded out, however. Just Violet now on his lonesome, now taken down. MN3, a palm to the nose. Does the job. A second tick going to be coming through, and it looks like Outlaws want nothing to do with the recontest. They will just concede the point.
Violet's respawning too late here, so good job by Seoul Infernal to get some late picks. They needed the cleanup there because just Fearless alone was not going to do it. 2 ticks still available. Fearless can respawn. The retake could have come through for the last tick. Time though, 2:30. I mean, essentially they capped that into OT, and if you want to finish the map with this on B, another 1:30 on C, the rest of the gameplay on Hollywood Attack has to be fairly flawless here. Both teams will swap from Hanzo onto the Sombra. Not a sniper to be seen on B. Both nanos are available as well. So far, Seoul Infernal just want to play for payload first.
Just trying to count how many shots in a row Shu was going to be able to hit right there. It's got something like 9 without missing before he finally had whiffed 1. Nade going out, trying to amp up some of this healing here on a mag as he plays forward to try to get this cart contested and shove back the members of the Outlaws. They go up to the high ground, opening up a little bit of space. The cart can continue to glide forward with 1 minute and 42. The Infernal, they need the rest of this one to be clean.
Okay, here's
Dashing around the back.
Oh, Skew dies! No nano.
Dead. No nano to be found. It's the nano from Shu to help with power. Fearless comes away with the kill. Just continues to zone him back. A couple zaps as a parting gift to try to get that next primal online. Keeps himself just a head above mag right now.
I think Seoul Infernal know it's like, okay, they can just freely push the payload until Houston Outlaws respond, and Houston Outlaws have to be the ones to respond. And when they do, they can trade nanos. They can play the later nano, but not if Skewed dies. And obviously, they know Skewed has a nano. They'll confirm it with a hack here as well. Almost onto the EMP. Is Happy, and that'll be important because we got a couple of chokes here that you got to be careful with. But Happy still lagging behind 6%. Needs.
They know where he is. They just can't drag him out of stealth. So Fix It just has to keep his attention there. And oh, the spy check.
He revealed. He got revealed.
Yeah, absolutely monstrous. That would have been, MN3 likely being able to build up towards that EMP, which Happy now has online. Card still being held. Pelican just playing here onto the low ground. Dancing alongside Zest to try to keep them in this one, keep that cart locked in position. But MN3 this time just managed to go in, finds Violet for his trouble. Mag going to be sucked up onto the high ground. Now Fix It and Skewed taken down. Fearless with one, Shu with the other. No supports, and now the necessary exit. Mag playing back. He cannot commit the primal to this one right now, and he cannot exit. He overstayed far too long trying to get that leap back up.
Final fight now. This is the biggest difference as well. You start noticing on the low ground, Zest is trying to get some payload movement, and Pelican is marked, and that's something Zest didn't do on his attack. And it means that Seoul Infernal don't even have a consolation prize. They don't have the payload pushed up enough. They have 4 ultimates, but largely they haven't been able to use these just yet. MN3 getting revealed a little bit early. He at least got 1 kill a little bit later on.
Out of stealth off the elevator. Throws out the EMP when it's going to be Skewed. Dying on the opposite side. The supports for the Outlaws. Perfectly fine. Just peachy keen. Pulse bomb from Zest, not able to connect. He does get shield bash for a moment. Recalls out, stays alive, but now just the primal remaining as Fixa will get burned down. Skewed desperately trying to run back to keep Mag alive, but it's just going to be far too late. Fearless shuts him down. The OT bleeds away, and the Houston Outlaws, they might have set up the win condition for the Seoul Infernal, but they don't let him get into position for it. They close this one out, and they now move up 2-0 in the series.
And we called this at the end of Lijiang, right? Going into Hollywood, it could be a mistake. This is where Houston Outlaws are strong. Seoul Infernal, they're confident in their own map choice. They're thinking they're pretty good at this map as well, but you are playing into the hands of the Outlaws, and I feel like that's what we spent that entire map doing. Still some close affairs, some decent fights back and forth. Seoul Infernal letting far too many fights slip through their fingers. Individual picks. I mean, A just took way too long. Houston Outlaws got A almost instantly with the Echo Gambit. Seoul Infernal could barely crack it. Time was a huge issue there. They had no payload push. Even when they had ultimates, couldn't really involve those ultimates. Individual members dying at inopportune times. Shu pops a nano, Skewed is dead instead. Things like that really do cost the team.
A brutal position now to be in for the Infernal. I mean, very much, as we were saying, like the Hangzhou Spark before them, they're now in a spot where if they want to stay on this side of the bracket, if they don't want to be suffering a very early loss here on the opening day, they need to pull off a reverse sweep. What a story it would be if they could get that one done, but given the form that's being shown right now from the side of the Houston Outlaws, uncertain if it's going to be possible because they are giving it everything they've got, and Infernal have just not been able to stand up to it.
And I'm thinking, I was going to say Rialto is available, and the reason why Rialto could be a decent map choice is because this is typically where Houston Outlaws sub Fearless out for Gargoyle, so you are going to force a substitution. Gargoyles had less time playing with the team. Fearless is obviously their starting player. You remove Fearless from the lineup. That's got to be a positive for the Seoul Infernal, but it's an off-tank favored map for the most. I mean, you can just play more Winston Dongak, and Hushui played plenty of that on Rialto. Mag doesn't match on the Diva at all. He's just going to play the Winston. He needs to be confident he can beat Gargoyle in that Winston versus Diva matchup. That would be the reason to go to Rialto.
Play the Winston or play the ball. Who knows with Mag? He might just pull it out as a bit of a Hail Mary to try to get them across the finish line and put a map win up on the board. But like I said, they now need a reverse sweep. Everything to play for here for the Seoul Infernal in front of the home crowd. We'll see if they can get it done, put their right foot forward when we come back from the break, so do not go anywhere. And we are back, and let's immediately go ahead and take a zoom in here and shoe and skewed, because it was a fairly one-sided affair. Let's be real.
And, well, it's part of that is coming through the deaths, and the deaths is a little bit more of a team thing. The dives from the Houston Outlaws, Fearless jumping to the back line, Skew getting picked. But at the same time as well, it's interesting to look at the final blows because, you know, supports typically not really final blow farmers, not really on an Ana either. You're thinking about final blows as supports, you're more thinking about heroes like Bap and Zen, right? None of which got played. Shu managed to get 5 in there a couple of times, and we did see Shu pop up on the kill feed. And he sometimes got support plays. I actually saw Shu snipe out some supports on the Seoul Infernal side, both Skewed and Fixer. Those things can definitely make a difference in the actual matchup itself. And so, yeah, Houston Outlaws, I think this was definitely a far more convincing win on Hollywood than what we saw on Lijiang Tower. Lijiang Tower gave you a lot more hope for the Seoul Infernal squad. Hollywood, though, snuffs out a little bit of that hope.
Well, you were teeing it up after we saw the map pick coming through of Rialto, and Gargoyle will be subbing in for Fearless. It's been the only map that we've seen him on so far throughout the season, so it makes sense that he's going to be coming back in once again. Yep.
Ex-Overwatch League player Bishu himself is also there, and Gargoyle is going to get a bit of playtime here. And as I mentioned before we went to break, right, the reason why you would go here is you force Gargoyle in. I mean, obviously Houston could just choose not to sub in Gargoyle and play Fearless again. It's essentially what Atlanta Reign did, a map where normally you would see Hawk come in for Dongak. I don't know if anyone else caught the Gator tweet, but apparently Dongak had never even scrimmed Rialto before. They just kept him in. Here, though, Houston Outlaws don't want to take any chances. They have a player that normally does play Rialto, that is Gargoyle, playing some Diva. That will be there now. For Seoul Infernal, I think, you know, there's a little bit of concern on the faces here. And I do have a belief that Seoul can win this and we go to push map 4. Seoul, that's their best game mode. They can win their best game mode, you can go to map 5. No, I don't know what's going to happen on map 5. There's still a pathway for Seoul Infernal to at least get to the map 5. Not necessarily complete a reverse sweep, but at least open the door.
I mean, we saw how close things were on that opening map of Control. And that's where I want to go back to. I want to go back to that level of closeness. So bring us back to Lijiang Tower, just reskinned on Rialto. Doesn't matter who wins it, just want to see that back and forth bout, that closeness that we were seeing at the very beginning of this series, because it felt like we really started off on this high peak, and it's been dwindling down as the Houston Outlaws have just established a foothold.
Part of that is due to the fact that I think you take Houston Outlaws to a very comfortable map for them. Lijiang Tower as well. I think both of these things occurred on both of the maps so far, which is to say that Seoul Infernal, they do sometimes make small errors that kind of cost them, whereas at least on the other hand, Houston Outlaws, they clutch through. You know, I pulled out the stat line that Seoul Infernal on both Nine Market and Gardens had a considerable lead. It was again like 85-0 and then 90-30 or something like that. Really good leads, but they could not close out either of those two leads, and that really says everything about the Seoul Infernal in this matchup so far, where they can have competitive fights, just missing the slight bit of the end to actually close it out.
You can see the Jigglypuff there with the sign cheering for the Seoul Infernal, but unfortunately she might have sung her lullaby and put the Infernal to sleep. We'll see if they've woken up, though, as we go into what very well could be the final map of this series and the conclusion of today's action.
I think it's Shu putting the Seoul Infernal to sleep.
I mean,
a few of those.
That's definitely been the case. I mean, we saw that quick snipe on a Zest when he was trying to pressure him on the high ground.
Yep.
Set up for the kill, but all to play for now here for the Infernal. Again, you know, reinforced, as I'm sure we'll hear the fan cheer in a brief little moment here as we get ready to go into the map, but reinforced by that home crowd, wanting to do them proud as the lone Seoul representative here, given that Dynasty were unable to attend, unable to qualify, I should say.
I wonder which fan cheer is louder, the Houston fans in Kintex or Jake in the green room?
It's probably Jake in the green room, let's be honest.
Okay, right. Understandable. To be fair, a lot to cheer about. Houston having a great day. Could be back-to-back 3-0s here, I'm sure.
For sure.
That's the dream start for Houston Outlaws on their road to getting that rematch versus the Atlanta Reign, which I think most punters, most fans, most personalities would have agreed to be the two favorites coming into this tournament. Hangzhou Spark put a dent in the NA versus APAC rivalry with takedown of the Mayhem, but so far, Seoul Infernal yet to take a map in this series, and Rialto might be their final chance.
3, 2, 1. Infernal fighting coming across loud as ever. Take a look though. It's gonna be Mag here on this D.Va matching against Gargoyle.
So he's going to do it. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not, because D.Va is a very good choice for this map. I would even say maybe the preferred choice, but Mag not known for the D.Va. This is not one of his normal heroes. And he's very flexible this year. I don't want to take that away from him. You can also just choose to play Winston.
Oh my goodness. MN3 doesn't know what the hell hit him. I barely do either. Pelican just out of nowhere. Absolutely just one-clipping him. I thought maybe we'd see Happy after, as soon as they got the ping down onto the Widowmaker, opting to go in for that matchup, but MN3's immediately forced off of it, now comes back in with the Sombra.
MN3, yeah, again, just second time I think we see him early death, straight on the Sombra, but he'll be behind. He has to really start from below where Pelican is, and this is the other thing as well, right? Pelican now playing the Sombra, Happy on the Tracer, they can swap. This is one of the beautiful things about the Houston Outlaws. The 2 DPS players can do that. Speaking of Shu getting sleeps, there's one to Mag.
Boss. No D-Mech going to be found quite just yet here, though. Still, though, continued pressure being applied. He's got to pull back, running out of that D-Matrix. Now going to be antied out. Just has to make his exit. Locked in position for a brief little moment, but MN3 going to be slapped. We were talking about it, Chu. Again, delivering. Gargoyle swoops in with the rockets blazing. They find that pick. They find that kill. That's going to be the Pelican can very much establish a dominant lead towards this EMP. And the Outlaws
skewed,
locked back across the bridge, and yeah, I mean, skewed under so much fire, does get that to connect. Can they follow up for the elimination?
Shu nearly kills him. No, twice now he's nearly killed Skewed.
Yeah, and they just can't get Pelican. He slipped up onto the high ground, but no one can get there fast enough. So he ends up just getting out scot-free. EMP now on the way. Anti goes across onto a few. Happy with the pulse bomb. Managed to find one Zest. Not getting anything. Fixa dead. Rally canceled. Skewed now under fire. Going to be mowed down by Gargoyle, who finds him in 3-4 follow-up. That'll be the team kill. An extended one coming through as well as the cap. 4 minutes, 37 seconds going forward towards B.
Yep. That's the pulse run from Happy that sets things up. Onto Fixa. Gets rid of the rally. Violet's still alive. Houston Outlaws with player advantage. You talk about the fact that they couldn't get the punish on the Pelican despite the sleep from Skewed. I mean, yeah, Skewed is under fire. He has to duck for cover. Shu's looking for him across the bridge. Seoul Infernal just could not put any players onto Pelican to confirm it. Now the EMP up to 3, that's good.
Okay, EMP, yeah, as they come flooding out of the high ground there. They do manage to find Violet for a little bit more. D-Matrix trying to keep Shu protected. Now the answering EMP comes across from Pelican and Fixa again. Can get mowed down. Gargoyle plowing forward, finds that elimination. Card should be able to continue advancing forward as Gargoyle gives a cheeky little wave.
Just holding the ground while his team pushes the payload, and once it's in position, they can make a play happen. We're waiting for ults here as well. Shu leading Skewed. About a good 10% here, and that will count. Slowly, Seoul Infernal. Okay, they are contesting a little bit here, but they have no high ground control. That belongs to the Houston Outlaws.
Mag is taking a nap, though. So with this hack that's damage that's getting across there onto Gargoyle, they don't have the follow-up from Mag to really try to solidify the deal, and Gargoyle just numbs up that pulse bomb. It takes it away. Big denial coming through is Happy. Just about ready to have one of his own. Mag now going to be antied out, and yep, it will be D-Mag now forced to use. That's self-destruct the Baby Devo as well. Going to be slept. They push up onto the high ground now, nettoed up, and Gargoyle will strike him down. Skewed dead as well as Shu continues to get the better of him. Fixa. It's not a hope in this world. He will fall, and it's 4:35 for the final stretch of this map. Houston Outlaws perfectly comfortable.
And Shu, I mean, even the extra kill to Skewed removes the nano boost from play. We looked at the 5-0 final blows from the last map and stated the fact that it's not really normal to be talking about final blows for supports, but when Shu's on board, I guess that is just the norm for the Houston Outlaws. What a sleep dart from Shu onto Mag as well. The Baby D.Va removed the ability to remake. I mean, dude, Shu is on a tear.
Came out here with something to prove, that's for damn sure.
I really just think Shu Overwatch.
It's just been pounding. Nothing more to say about it. Just been nothing but cleanliness from him. Fixa now going to be trying to catch up the Violet, who's got that rally at the ready. We'll give them that double support ultimate, but the card is already gliding forward here into the final stop, and with 3:45, this is such a brutal time to try to chew through. EMP goes across, MN3 completely whiffs it, finds a follow back on a Gargoyle, but that is not going to get them anything. A second and a half of space bought. Now the answering EMP out from Pelican. It's fine. Mag pulse bomb out from Zest this time. Will get the connection. Not going to be able to deny it away once more with the D-Matrix Gargoyle. Pelican falls low, but does manage to escape with this life intact. That's going to send the Outlaws packing for the time being. But that's only, since the last time I checked in on the time bank, 20 seconds gone. Happy getting staggered will buy them a little bit more time. There's still a lot more to work through, and that's all their tools eliminated. Pelican trying to get back cap. Fix identifies this. We'll go ahead and stop it.
And even then, they can't fully chase it. See, look at this Pelican can just... Okay, here it is. Translated destroyed. But yeah, just kind of moving the payload slightly. Pelican dying there is annoying because that's a super late death. We were talking about staggers, right? In Seoul Infernal, they want to pull the trigger. Can they play 5v4? A little bit of trepidation. They don't want to fight through a choke. Seoul Infernal also thankful that Zest managed to get that pulse one from a little bit earlier as well, because M3's EMP, I mean, it looked like a fat finger, if I'm going to be honest, just didn't hit anybody, so that was a little bit awkward.
So now he's going to be hacked. Looks like he does manage to get out with his life. Mag just trying to play protect as best he possibly can. And at the ready. Likely going to be Gargoyle, maybe Violet. And Zest is able to get that pulse bomb online. Yep, okay. Under a little bit of threat, they will send it over towards the Brigitte. Violet now charging forward, immediately looking to get into the thick of things. Looking for a target. Skewed going to be antied out again. Shu just looking to focus fire him. A hack is out from MN3, but Shu just absolutely taking no damage. There's no follow-up off the back of it. Self-destruct up over the top, not going to be able to find a damn thing. Pillar in the boxes, helping to go ahead and keep Pelican protected. Pulse bomb in. Happy. Coming up short, answering EMP now. This time does manage to find some targets, and Violet's going to be taken down. Mag finding that kill just moments before the sleep dart connected in. However, self-destruct takes Mag out of the mech. They kill off the baby defense. That's going to be antied out. They look to continue to try to push this one forward. 4.61 meters up to go. The rally now rolling for Fixa. Desperately trying to keep them alive and in this fight. And when everything had to be committed here just to try to keep them alive, Zest does get the kill here on the Happy. That buys some more time. 1 minute and 35 seconds now remaining.
I think that's worth, though. You clean out your ultimate bank, but you have to for that fight. I mean, you got to win it. Outlaws use all their ultimates anyway. Shu now leads by a lot on the Nano, but the Seoul Infernal with Mag gone, dead to the self-destruct.
Swapping.
You lose your supports, you lose Fixer. Things get awkward. Look at the swaps coming through. But what is about maybe 2 pushes at the maximum, maybe even less than that. Especially Genji and Zarya, 2 heroes, especially the Zarya, not really in the meta at all.
Swapping the mat.
We have actually seen Gargoyle play this in previous matches on Rialto, so it's not completely out of the blue, but he's got to build up energy from scratch, and who does the Nano go to? Does it go to Gargoyle? What if he doesn't have energy?
See if he can build it up. Mag down the Winston as well. Just try to play around it. Happy on the hunt, looking for Zest, takes him down to one-shot territory, nearly gets that follow-up. Recon reveals quite a bit. Let's fix it down to half HP, but has to pull back away from the flank angle, doesn't want to overextend. Start again, Frost within 4 meters. Nano goes across, it's on the Pelican this time, just right-clicking away, the deflect goes out, and M3 will be kept alive. Skewed tagged low once more, kill not going to be found so far. Infernal keeping the players alive, they keep up more space. 2.5 meters now remaining. Mag has to tuck back around the corner just to try to stay in this one. Happy, tagged low, but Pelican gets the headshots through. Zest's going to be taking down. Nano there on the Mag, Fixa, anti out. Pelican follows up for the second elimination here in the fight. Now MN3 going to be taken out as well. 10 seconds remaining, but it seems like they should be able to get this one across the line. 50 energy is enough. Gargoyle finds 2, and the push comes in. 5.9 seconds remaining. Houston Outlaws get to the end of Rialto.
Nano doesn't deliver any kills, but it does deliver spaceport. Houston Outlaws get to push off the back of that one. Pelican still delivers 2 kills after the fact. I mean, just a straight headshot onto the back line. And for the Seoul Infernal, no responding kills, no trades, nothing. They had to get something back, and they could not. And it ends up being the Zarya Genji that gets it across the line. And the killers, I would have even said, even if the Seoul Infernal hold C here and they prevent the full cap, enough distance is made that Houston Outlaws have set themselves up for success. And take a look at how
they just be like, oh my god,
beautiful. A headshot into deflect. I don't think if deflect was even part of it, but yeah, he drops down on top of the Zest.
Just domes him point blank with a right click to the skull. Just a coup de grace on execution. But I have to agree with you, because it would be much like we saw on Hollywood. They were able to stop that push from coming through, got it just before the very end. They halt that cart, but then couldn't make it anywhere close themselves. Now the Infernal need to take this to extra innings if they want to have that chance to close out the map.
The worst part is C is where it was close, because A wasn't close, B wasn't close. How much was the time bank going to C again? Above 3 minutes, nearly 4, right?
It was quite a bit. I think it might have been
a lot.
I think it might have been about 4 minutes.
Well, the point is, I mean, having that amount of time is just insane. So Seoul Infernal's A and B certainly need a lot of work, and that's where you got to make up for lost time here, because as I've said many times, Rialto, one of the most difficult maps to have.
Okay.
That's a shot you want to see.
What? A window of opportunity there, just right through the doorway. Gets the headshot, says, yep, my job here is done. We'll go ahead and swap over now. And it's going to be the Ash. So still sticking with the sniper.
There it is.
A little bit more mobile, a little bit more mid-range. This Pelican's also going to be going over to the Sombra.
Yeah, so I expected that. It comes back quicker. You're a little bit concerned about the hard hit scan anyway, so you don't want to play the Echo into that. No cheese today, MN3.
Some high ground control nice and early.
That's another key factor as well. Play the 5v4. MN3 plays a very comfortable hero on the Ash. Deals in the medium range in the front line a little bit more effectively as well. Warning on to 55 in terms of ult charge. Payload about to clear in the open.
MN3 just trying to push that one up into the courtyard. Goes up back up on the high ground, finds Pelican again. Beautiful headshot. 70% now towards the Bob. Gargoyle looking for that high ground contest, has to back away. As the sleeps continue to rain in here from Shoot, but the kills can't be found on the back end of it. At least not quite just yet. MN3 under fire, just constantly turning his sights, looking for a target, looking for some kind of weakness that he can exploit here on the side of the Outlaws, but aside from Pelican, not going to be found quite just yet. That's now Pulse Bomb online. See if he can actually weave this one through, get the stick, get the kill. Anti on the 2, Mag Fixa getting caught.
It's a choice. I don't know. Maybe that was just a misplaced nano. Could have gone to Gargoyle instead. Possibly Happy got in the way, but Happy couldn't use the nano at all. He couldn't really push forward to the risky. Soul Infernal just waited out. Now they have the nano advantage and the Bob coming online. The only thing they don't have is more payload movement.
Oh, Skewed. Has a self-nade, but instead they just turn their sights. MN3 going to be left out with Skewed's attention and Fixes as well. It's paid elsewhere. MN3 falls. The Bob was used. Pulse Bomb as well committed from Zest, but no kill to be found. Bob will make his exit. MN3 now going to be swapping over to the Sombra.
I mean, even with the Bob out, it kind of alleviates MN3's death a little bit, but Soul Infernal couldn't use that at all.
I mean, the card's not moving. It's
Skewed is really fast. Well, this is a long rotation here from Soul Infernal. That's the point, right? It's not moving. They do have kills now, but we swap sides on the map.
Oh yeah, they're just trading positions, looking to hold that post-bridge side, stop the reinforcements from coming through as they do get those eliminations. We get one, EMP going to be committed, the rally now going to be rolling from Fixa, just trying to keep everybody alive, and despite the card still not yet moving forward, but Fixa is just looking to break down Gargoyle. Force him out of the mech, the self-destruct going to be committed to this one. Pelican in the meantime going to be taken down, Zez finding the kill, they cannot deny the baby D of the remix, so he gets back through. Shoot, hack out, cannot use that nano, Zest claims another one as both supports now fall. Gargoyle this time will be broken out, will be killed off, and the cart can finally advance forward for the side of the Infernal.
But not enough to get a cap, and that's the most important part, right? The payload had such little movement that Outlaws are guaranteed a final fight here. And that's one of the key points across this entire series that Soul Infernal have just been worse at than the Outlaws, because Outlaws would have had that payload pushed right into the archway by now, threatening the cap. Outlaws will play through this nano.
Eyes on Happy.
91 is where it gets contested.
Creeping in around the back, the Pulse Bomb at the ready, looking for a weakened target. Fixa, Skewed. Those are going to be the ones that he's aiming for. It's going to go a little bit wide, doesn't find the kill. AT on to the 2. Zest in the meantime catches Pelican, takes out that Hanzo threat. The damage now severely cut down. EMP, as you say, nearly at the ready. MN3 just 5% away from that one. Mag as well could try to clear things out with the self-destruct. The EMP now going to be built up. They lose out on Zest. Shoot again, finding the Tracer. MN3 going to be taken down as well, but the cap has come through. Soul Infernal. They managed to push it in. Outlaws pulling the trigger just a little bit too late. They try to keep that one contested, and now they have to back up.
I mean, if they don't get the cap there, Soul Infernal will be staring into the wall of something grim, I'm telling you, my friend, because they were losing that fight. MN3 gets completely annihilated. Gargoyle doing a ton of damage in that particular fight, and we just have a fight on the bridge now. Shu on the high ground. Lots of vision. Sleep on the
another
Tracer,
sleep.
Oh.
And MN3 going back. He just swapped to that Widow. Instantly gets the headshot. Out the gate as quickly as he could have been. What an elimination to find. Just in the meantime, does get Violet Gargoyle, deep mech taken down. MN3 says, all right, that's good enough. Swaps back over to the Sombra.
Yeah, they just wanted Shu. I mean, he's the only one that's kept Shu honest so far this game, because Shu has been getting away with murder. On the back line, no pressure, no one onto him at all.
You gotta say,
Shu's doing so much on this Ana from across the entire map.
Carpe, he might not be on the team anymore, but MN3 is still keeping the traditions alive. Go for the Widow, go for the Hail Mary, win the fight, swap back off.
Yeah, why not? To be fair, I think the Widow angles get a lot worse actually on B and C.
Yeah.
So this is the time to swap off Widow, if any.
Oh, Zest diving forward, trying to catch somebody there on the top of the staircase. I wasn't able to find anything, so again, the Pulse Bomb going to be going wide. Happy keeps his in the back pocket. EMP nearly there as well for Pelican. The ult advantage very severely in the hands of the Outlaws.
Halo stalled again. 1:30 left to go. Time is really becoming a factor now, and the Outlaws have all the ult. There's 4 online. That is deadly.
Fix is surviving the ante, but the push up, there's the EMP, finds both the supports. Skewed gonna be taken down, and Mag was slept, so crucially cannot come to their head, cannot put up that D-make to try to keep it protected. They end up falling, and Outback himself as well is going to be taken down, knows that he cannot use that self-destruct.
Staggered as
just
well.
die, but
Maybe
yeah,
he was
they just
staggered.
run away, so now he's gonna have to jump into the canal. More time bought, that takes him now under a minute.
That really hurts the Seoul Infernal. Their chances of coming back on this map looking pretty grim here, because you still have to finish, and when you finish, there's still a time bank. We're about to reach OT in a short while. This EMP has to be money, but even then, payload movement once again is going to be the issue here. Look, it's only barely around the corner, which means even if Seoul Infernal win this fight, they have to push and fight again in the OT, where they're not favored.
MN3 just rushing forward, spamming away. EMP now going to be committed to this one. Does manage to get the catch on a Pelican, but he makes his exit. No kills are going to be found off the back end of it. Happy staying alive again. That pulse bomb still in the back pocket. Mag desperately trying to keep everybody protected as the Nano goes across from Skewed onto Fixa. Violet, rally rolling. Fixa nearly with one of his own, but he gets hacked, he gets stunned. Violet takes him out. Pulse bomb from Zest, managing to find Shu. Skewed under fire, getting whittled away yet. He doesn't have any self-healing, he doesn't have the nade. Happy will finish the job. A couple seconds remain in the part now contested. Mag throws out that self-destruct, but he will not live to see it go off. Pelican finishes him off. The OT bleeds away. And in MN3, his desperation, he tries to get something done, but to no avail. It will bleed down the map. The series will come to a conclusion. It is, in fact, a 3-0 for the Houston Outlaws.
Texas hard as the Houston Outlaws get a 6-0 start in the Midseason Madness.
Ever so.
They're on their way to the matchup, the rematch versus the Atlanta Reign. And an insane showing from the top two teams coming through from NA today. Atlanta Reign 3-0 versus the Spark. Houston Outlaws 3-0 versus the Seoul Infernal. And I think, you know, the top teams, the Houston Outlaws and the Atlanta Reign, it's just clear that there is a bit of a gap between them and I think the other four teams in this tournament. Some love being shown there between Shu and Skewed. And Shu had a monstrous day. To end that map, I can tell you stat-wise, Shu finished Rialto with 14 sleeps, Skewed had 4. That is a gigantic gap. On top of the final blows, on top of everything else. I don't even know if Shu got player of the match, but in my mind, he did.
Well, I mean, I'll just spoil it. He did get it. And we'll go ahead and... Oh, okay, it's not much of a spoiler, so we go straight into the graphic.
Absolutely deserved.
Yeah, what
I would have been mad if it was anyone else, because I think Shu had just an incredible day, monstrous.
Oh, sure.
And this is the key difference between, I think, Houston Outlaws, Atlanta Reign, and everybody else. It's the support line that is so infallible. Look at these plays. Shu Violet, Chio Fielder, that's the key difference, because I think other teams have comparable, you know, you could say, yeah, this team has, you know, their Smurf, there's this tank, there's this DPS, there's Shy and Leave. It's comparable on the other positions, but the one area that for Outlaws and Reign that is not comparable are these guys. Guys like Shu, Chio got the earlier play of the match, 52% sleep dart accuracy.
I mean, 52% and then 6 per 10.
6.2 per 10, by the way. And again, I think the final tally was 14. 14 total with 6.2 per 10.
And he's sleeping more people pretend than he is dying. So, I mean, great effort as well from the rest of the team to provide peel here for these supports. But Shu, an absolute force to be reckoned with. Shows why this guy has been a role star since the kind of, you know, the inception of that system.
Yeah.
Because he just continues to be absolutely dominant, whether it's that Baptiste, whether it is that Ana. He is somebody that you cannot count out. He will have impact. He's kind of, I want to say, almost inherited the, you know, the Jehong, the Jonak throne of being that bloodthirsty support.
I mean, I said yesterday, we casted the Midseason Madness finals last year where Gladiators won, Shu and Skewed on the same team. And at that final, at that tournament, I said Shu is the best support player in the world. And this year, I mean, that title's being challenged because Fielder and Chio on the opposite end really want that.
Sure.
Shu might still be. We'll have to find out when they play against each other. But Shu is, in my mind, as good as ever. Still just as good a year later.
Yeah, just utterly fantastic. I mean, we just watched the highlights. I could watch them again and again because it was just gorgeous play from him. But congratulations to the Houston Outlaws, as well as the Atlanta Reign for their victories here today, keeping themselves up into that upper bracket. Obviously, it's not over yet. There's still 2 more days of play to be coming through here, but it's going to take a while, and it's going to take a lot of grinding and sitting down here as teams for the Infernal, for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, as well as for Boston, to try to bounce back after these devastating losses that were suffered. All of them getting taken out with a 0-3 fashion, at least in some regards. So, work to be done with not much turnover, but we're going to go to a break, and then, of course, the desk is going to be taking us out for the evening here as they break down all of the action from today, so don't go anywhere.
And on behalf of all of us, apologies.
Korean culture is great, guys.
Yeah, we love culture. My mouth is getting numb, so I think I have to hand it over back to Zoe, but we're really sorry for what we did. I hope it didn't hurt twice. Back to the desk. Well, that apology was needed. Did hurt twice, but yeah, you know how it is. Also, you know the saying, "Art is pain," but also our pain is art. Thank you so much for that one, Angie. That made me laugh. This is just exactly what happened.
Am I even Korean? That's how I really felt. That Angie, you got it spot on.
Yeah,
my passport is burning up.
Are you embarrassed that you lost against those guys?
Honestly, I did. I going in, I was like, hey, I'm Korean. I'm the only Asian here. I'm gonna win. But you guys are way too competitive.
I can eat the spicy food.
You guys are a little mental.
I mean, we're not gonna disclose that he gobbled down an entire cup of milk immediately as soon as the camera.
That is lies. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? So did you.
Oh yeah.
After you drank it first, so I'm not the loser.
I didn't have any
my milk away.
There's no video evidence of this.
You were eating candy, which was supposed to help with it.
Yeah.
So you did like.
Yeah, but I didn't take the milk. All right, that's the point here. All right, let's stay focused.
I think we're all losers.
Toxic masculinity. Yeah.
On my way home, long drive back home, I was just crying, and my stomach was very unhappy with what I did.
I had to do voiceover work immediately. That was rough. So if I sound like I'm crying in a future voiceover, you know exactly what just happened. Anyway, while we were all losing in that game, there's a winner in this last one of the day, and that is clearly the Houston Outlaws, looking dominant. Shu, Div for sure, but who else stood out?
I mean, Shu and Violet. I think really this was a support gap for most of the series. I think Gargoyle as well had a huge gap on Mag on the Diva. I mean, that is like a comfort pick for Gargoyle for sure, but to see him come out on his map and dominate, look great with some very high impact eats is really boding well for the future of the Houston Outlaws long term, right? This is a meta where Fearless gets to shine, but if Gargoyle needs to step in, he's a capable hands to put the team in, if they are going to that off tank meta. And then these DPS always so consistent, just playing whatever they need to play, tons of swaps throughout the series. But it felt like Outlaws had an answer to anything Infernal wanted to bring out.
Yeah, we're really heading towards just a clash between 2 high-speed trains, which is Houston Outlaws and the Atlanta Reign. This is going to be an absolute banger. I mean, these sleep starts are crazy.
That was one of the best sleeps I've seen.
It really is reminiscent of me for like Dallas Fuel versus Shanghai Dragons 2021 kind of rivalry, where you have 2 incredible teams with pretty equal styles. The Houston Outlaws will be taking on the Atlanta Reign. The Houston Outlaws, they've leveled up like just to the point where I really do think that they can challenge an Atlanta Reign team that has dropped 2 maps this season. And I'm not saying that lightly. I really do think Houston Outlaws, they're peaking at the right time. All the pieces are coming together. They're playing really good on so many different compositions. This could be the time for the Outlaws, dare I say it, next to Jake.
Just before wrapping that up, I want to get your thoughts very quickly on the Seoul Infernal. This was the first time that a lot of people in the West have been getting a look at the Seoul Infernal. What is the big takeaway here?
Well, I don't know if that we can say too much negatively about them. I do think there was a huge gap here, but there's been like a similar type of gap between the Houston Outlaws, the Atlanta Reign, and everyone else in the West as well. So I don't know yet that Infernal's run is over, or Sparks for that matter, going down 3-0 in their respective matches to the top West teams. I think the real question is Boston and Florida. Those teams are beatable, potentially, they don't look that strong. I mean, Boston, I think, kind of had a rough game one. I expected that game to be closer against the Outlaws. I thought they'd at least take a map or something, but they didn't. So honestly, I think for both of the Eastern teams, they have very much the chance to stay alive in the tournament, face off against those teams in the loser bracket. But you got to be pretty worried. I mean, this was a dominant performance. I don't think I think it's pretty clear we know the finalists for the tournament at this point. Like, it's hard to imagine any two other teams being in the grand final than Outlaws.
There's a couple of underdogs in the lower bracket, Jake. I'm going to be that guy who just keeps giving hopium.
Opium, sold here.
He just wants to be right either way. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a Houston Outlaws fans, you're gonna feel really good about yourself, as well as when you're a player. And we got one of them standing by for a winner's interview. So Danny, please take it away.
Thank you, Zoe. And we got none other than Violet from the Houston Outlaws for the post-match interview. Violet, hello. Violet 선수 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
All right. Hi. Oh, yeah. You just said hello. All right. I mean, this was another quick match for you guys. How do you think? What gave you guys the edge against the Seoul Infernal today? 자, 오늘 승리 두 번째 경기임에도 불구하고 또 좋은 모습으로 3대 0으로 빠르게 승리를 거두셨습니다. 오늘 승리 좀 어떻게 이루셨나요?
그냥 뭐 예상했던 결과인 것 같아요.
It's an outcome that was very expected. Do you feel like after? I think this was the first time we're seeing you guys going up against the Eastern region APAC teams. What's your sort of general consensus, or like what's your general thought about the East region? I mean, you guys only played one team, but I just want to hear your thoughts. 방금 이제 이 서울 팀이 어떻게 보면 동부와의 처음 경기였는데 휴스턴 팀에게는 좀 전체적으로 봤을 때 지금 동부 팀에 대한 좀 이렇게 의견이 있다면 좀 어떤 팀인가요?
동부에 대한 의견이요?
네네, 그냥 동부 팀들에 대한 의견. 지금 뭐 서울밖에 겨루지 않았지만 앞으로 또 다른 팀들도 만날 수 있을 것 같아서 좀 전체적인 의견이 있다면 좀 어떤 팀인 것 같다, 어떤 팀들인 것 같나요?
네, 이게 아무래도 동부 팀들은 이게 연습할 스크림 팀 아무래도 적다 보니까 그게 조금 서부랑 이게 실력 차이가 조금 날 수밖에 없지 않나.
네.
그리고 동부는 뭐 여기까지.
네, 거기까지 알겠습니다. So Violet says that because Eastern teams they are sort of limited on I guess scrim partners or the practices or like I guess teams that they could practice with, and because of that, that's why they are sort of lacking when it comes to I guess mechanical skills or just the region in general. That's why the West seems a little bit better because they don't have a variety of teams that they could go up against. Interesting. I think another interesting question that I have for you, Violet, is you guys just played 2 matches. I mean, because of that, I'm pretty sure you guys could get a little tired. Is there like a special, I guess, personal way for you to sort of stay focused in game in these sort of situations? 자, 두 번째 질문은 오늘 이제 휴스턴 팀이 서울뿐만 아니라 좀 전에 보스턴 팀도 했고 2경기나 뛰셔서 아무래도 좀 되게 피곤하실 것 같은데 좀 이런 상황에서도 집중력을 어떻게 좀 흐트러뜨리지 않고 좀 제대로 경기할 수 있는 좀 바이올렛 선수만의 좀 비법이나 좀 이런 게 있나요?
일단은 조금 음식 같은 거를 자극적인 걸 좀 자제를 하고, 그리고 제가 있는 루틴이 있는데 일단 아침에 무조건 이거는 루틴 아닌가?
아니 하셔도 돼요. 네.
네, 그리고 안경도 이제 제가 무조건 책상에 가져 올라가야 되고, 신발은 무조건 벗어야 되고, 네, 뭐 그런 거.
잠시만요. 그러면은 지금 음식에다가 루틴이 아침에 일어나서 씻고 신발을 벗고 또 하나 뭐 있었죠?
신발 벗고 안경을 책상에 두는.
안경을 책상에 두는. Alright. Interesting answer. 굳이 쓰진 않는데 앞에 있어야 된다.
네네.
Okay. Alright. Very interesting answer from Violet. He says he has sort of of course, I think number one thing is food. Not eating something that's too sweet or too spicy. Second thing is he has his own personal routine where he has to always wash in the morning and always take off the shoes and always he always puts glasses on top of the desk. So that's his routine in order for him to focus on the games. All right, interesting. Violet, thank you so much for all those interesting answers and excited to see more from the Houston Outlaws tomorrow. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Violet. Congratulations to the Houston Outlaws. Glasses like specs or just
glasses.
any
like
glass?
I guess he doesn't wear glasses, but it's like sort of his thing to put it on desks.
But so he doesn't wear them, he just has a pair of glasses.
I guess that's what he said.
I
And then
think I've seen
he takes
Tyler
off
wearing glasses sometimes. Maybe he has contacts too. I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
actually.
I think so.
I've seen him wear glasses before.
Yeah,
right?
takes off his shoes.
I do that too. It keeps me grounded.
That makes sense. You need like keep everything in its right
career,
place.
shoes off at
He's
all
been
times.
studying the flow, how to get into the flow, and he has his routine just like.
I guess that gives him endurance.
flow.
Yeah. What
Go
do
on.
you do? What do you guys do? Do you have a routine?
Do I have a routine?
Like a gaming routine?
I drink a very big size coffee in the morning,
True.
and then I drink another big coffee.
An hour later.
An hour later, and then a cold brew at the end of the
Rinse and
day.
repeat every hour on the hour until my heart explodes.
What a great way to say
Right?
this,
Yeah.
Sonny. Absolutely
I listen
love
to a lot
that.
of music when I warmed up for my matches. Do you ever listen to music? I listen to music like before I went on stage.
I just play a lot of like aim training in the morning. And
Okay,
stuff,
so the answer
but-
is no music.
Yeah, not so much.
All right,
music.
I
The
tried
answer is
music.
well,
Music
thanks.
works for me.
And now we know. No one asked for that one really, but
It's
here we are.
interesting.
No, it actually is interesting. You know what else is interesting? More competitive Overwatch. I got just the thing for you because, yep, that's right. We have more things coming your way if you are interested in calling all heroes because the Major 2 is open for registration. All you have to do is head on over to callingallheroes.gg and you can learn how you can join not just the tournament but also the community as a whole. It's a great initiative. It's a great community. So we would love to see your faces there as well. Now let's take a look at that bracket to see where we're standing after just one day of mid-season madness. Was it madness? Is it all that is promised?
I warned you guys. There can't be too many great games in a bracket, and they showed us why with 3 3-0s today.
Yeah, but
You're
those
right,
were
we have
still
to-
great games,
yeah.
though. I
wanted 5 map
thoroughly-
bangers.
I
No.
like watching Houston Outlaws stomp people. I'm in full agreement. Like,
Yeah, same. I love
winning 3-0.
watching Atlanta Rangers asserting dominance.
Yeah.
Like, don't play with your foot, make it quick, be decisive, leave everyone else out there to scramble for scraps. Like, that's what I want
It's
to
to
as
see
Johnny
Boston.
said, like the two trains, they're accelerating on a collision course. We have
Yeah,
to see what
leave-
happens tomorrow. That's
leave
that's
the-
going to be the match. I mean, that's
Leave the
pretty
map
much-
by banger for the grand finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this upper finals is very much going to be a preview of the grand finals.
Yeah.
Like, whoever loses that, I can't really see any of these lower bracket teams, even the matches we haven't seen yet. It's like hard to believe that they're going to put up a fight. I think we're just going to see 2 tries at Atlanta versus Houston. They can feel each other out in the first round, go back, recuperate in the lower bracket, clean somebody up 3-0, whoever's the last
Lick
alive,
their wounds,
and then back
and
to
let's
grand
go
finals
again. It's
That's
gonna
honestly
be-
what I'm expecting. They'd look head and shoulders above the competition right now.
They did. Well, the other teams have a night to sleep on it, study up, make some changes, or just go down.
Stare at the ceiling and think
Stare
about
at
your
the-
mistakes.
You know, contemplating life a little
That was
bit.
that's my post-match routine when you
Just
lose.
stare at the
Oh
ceiling.
no!
I think it's inevitable,
That's
right?
sad.
It's any competitive person. You're gonna like reflect on what you did wrong.
Every time you
Hey,
close
you
your
don't have to
eyes,
stare at the ceiling
that
to do
scene
that,
just
though.
like.
try to sleep and try not to think about the like one stupid mistake you made that cost your team the game. You know, it happens.
Someone will keep on flying towards that payload over
Yeah,
and over and over again.
jumping in the
Like, ah.
streams. So you like wake up in a cold sweat, reaching off the edge of your
I had the
bed.
payload,
Wow, this
guys.
got
I had
real.
it.
Okay.
It's unreal.
Well, it's late, man. We're tired. But
Getting crazy.
even though we're tired, I do want to hear it from the big brains here on the desk. Which is the team people should not be sleeping on day number 2?
You're looking at me.
Other than the obvious ones,
You're looking at me.
all right, you know, I'll
Are we
steal
asking
it.
for
I'll
a
steal
sleeper
it.
pick? Like
Hangzhou, Hangzhou Spark.
I'm down.
I'm with
yeah.
Hangzhou.
Leave.
No, we can go.
Shy.
Not only that,
They
their
can play
backline
the dive at a really high level.
Atlanta smoked them, but
It was their second match of the day. They were
oh,
tired,
they were tired,
after
so they
their
got
adrenaline.
obliterated 3-0. No,
We're
but
playing that narrative.
Yeah, but
there were
like if we're
moments.
looking.
I can play whatever narrative I
If we're
want.
looking at Spark, we obviously, like, we know Gushu is a super capable Winston.
Yeah.
We talked about Leaf and Shy in that front line, but I think today you guys pointed at the back line.
Yeah,
Yeah, I criticized Monk and Lynx up, but they look great against the Florida Mayhem. It was a little different going up against Stalker and Lip, but that's how it is for everybody who goes up against
Expected,
Stalker and Lip so far. So I mean,
I think
this is a team that has a hope.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like especially
absolutely.
with how their DPS play that were producing time and time again. There were moments when Shy